Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to build the stock, low-cost, low-tech Mun SSTO from my previous video. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and get inside of our hanger here, and we want to start with our MK1 module. So let's build that, and then we want to empty it if it's motor propellant so we can reduce as much weight as possible. We're not going to use that anyways. And then you'll notice I'm going to put the Terrier right underneath it and then the tank above it. That's so that the center of gravity is as low as possible to make it easier to keep the engine pointed down during re-entry. I'm also going to use the radial parachute versus the inline. That way I'm just going to center it here. That way I can put a protective nose cone over it. I wouldn't be able to do it otherwise. And then make it more aerodynamic since I have the tank on the top. Now when it gets to the moon, it's going to, this tank's going to be a little bit emptier. So I'm going to use these landing legs closer to the bottom here, a little less than a quarter of the way up or halfway up those black stripes. And I'm going to just make sure that I get it right underneath there. Yeah, the center of gravity will actually be lower than that, so it'll still be able to lift up. The closer I get to the bottom, the better. So let's kind of point these in a little bit so that way they get even more, they push it up even further, and then move them in so they're hidden very well. Yeah, the closer to the bottom, the better. That way I can get a higher launch angle. You'll notice it makes kind of like a triangle here, like basically it's making a tripod. So there you go. So that's where I'm going to put the legs. All right, let's retract those. And now moving on to the next part, I'm going to need a coupler. Okay, put a coupler down there, and then I'm going to go ahead and start on my next stage. And then we're going to put three... oh, you know what? I forgot one thing. I need to put a service bay. Forgot. I need an autonomous... I need it to be autonomous. So let's go ahead and put our Probodyne there. Perfect. Okay, we can close that. Now let's go ahead and continue on. Oh, it also needs to be able to land. So let's put some parachutes on it. Okay, put two, just like in the video. That was definitely enough to slow it down. Okay, there we go. Now we can go on and start building our outside engines. So, okay, we're going to do 3 on the outside, 1 on the center, and then we're going to go ahead and put our Rapier rockets underneath this. There they are. Okay, so put them like that. There you go, using the alt-click method. That saves me so much time. Check our staging, make sure everything's good. Okay, everything looks pretty good. So, oh, I do need nose cones. Alright, let's put those on top there. Alright, everything looks almost good. We have 29 parts, so we have 1 left in order to reach the max of 30. So in order to do that, I'm going to route the service bay there. Let's move this out of the way so I can put a drogue chute right on top of the service bay. That ensures that I'm able to slow this down enough so that my parachutes don't get ripped to shreds. Okay, let's center that so that way it just makes life easier. Okay, here we go. Now I can go ahead and put that back on, and just because I'm that way I want to route it back the way it was. Okay, now we're good. And let's make sure that the staging is correct. Oh, well, first I'm going to change the title so you can see I'm commenting afterward. It makes it a lot easier. Okay, so I do notice that my staging is way off, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and do the next one. So this is actually an improved version of the ship. So what I did was I added an extra tank. We don't need as many parachutes on this one. We'll get to that later. So, okay, so let me go ahead and just put 2 outer engines. All right. That's all we're going to need in order to get this thing into orbit. Just those 3 rockets. Pretty great. So now we don't need as many parachutes because it's not quite as heavy. So I'm just going to put 1 of those. Let me get it down to 1 and center it. Okay, so we saved a bunch of parts there. Okay, move that down and route it back again. Okay, now one very important detail. Oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and readjust the staging here. Okay, so the parachutes look good. All the rockets are there. Okay, so one really important detail is we are going to need some fins. I will show you exactly why, but basically I'll put the fins right at the bottom edge of the fuel tanks, just so that it can be consistent. Okay, there you go. So 4 fins, and we should almost be at 30 parts, but we have 1 left. And I think I know what I want to do with that. First, let's rename this Moon 2. Save that. And we do want that extra part. We're going to put an antenna here, because then we're going to be able to communicate with Kerbin a lot easier. Okay, perfect. So now this guy's ready to go. Now, just to show you what happens if we don't have our not grid fins, excuse me, that's SpaceX. If we don't have our aerodynamic fins at the bottom, let's launch it without them. All right, we're going to need a pilot to launch. Okay, oh, check our staging. This was about to just fall apart if I launched it. Okay, we want the Terrier on top there. Okay, good. All right, now we're on to our launch. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to do just a launch straight up, or as straight up as possible. Let's lean to the right as much as possible, and now I have it set on prograde. So now Jedediah is doing all the work, but look here. Oh no, it goes way off course. It's so bad. You can see that the pitch is all the way maxed out, so it cannot correct itself no matter what it does. It's not strong enough. It's just relying on the reaction wheels of the MK1 module. So yeah, it's basically just careening out of control into the water. And here we go. Splash. Well, that was fun. So anyways, now you see why we need those fins. Let's put them back on here, and I'll show you how drastic of a difference it makes. Okay, so launch. And let's go ahead and take off and just go relatively straight up, but go kind of yaw over to east as if we're trying to get into orbit. Okay. Oh, I kind of messed up there. That's okay. So put in prograde, and here we go. I speeded up some more, and you can see I'm actually mashing the yaw button as much as possible, and it's not leaving that prograde circle. That's great. Until I get out of the atmosphere, then it can actually start to do that. But hey, it's pretty great, huh? All right, so there you go. So there's the original craft, and here's the modified, simplified version. My flight profile was so bad, I wasn't going to be able to get that into orbit. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.